From Omro down to Mayville, from Rosendale to the Ledge, and everywhere in between, it's time to get you caught up on everything happening in the Flyway Conference. This is the Flyway Focus Sport Report, your home for the best whip-around coverage of your favorite local teams. Now, with all the latest, here's Jordan King.
Good Wednesday morning to you. There's no sports going on until tomorrow's sectional semifinal round of volleyball and soccer. So this morning, as we did yesterday with WLA's opponent, Lake Country Lutheran, we'll take a closer look at both Mayville and Lomira's opponents coming up on Friday in Level 2 of the postseason. Mayville has a 2-3 matchup. Lomira, meanwhile, has a 2-6 matchup. We'll get to that in a minute. The Cards are in Division 4, their opponent, Berlin. Mayville and Berlin pretty much mirror images of each other statistically. Both average about 70 yards passing, both average about 275 on the ground. Neither team has any problems moving the football. The Indians, powered by a two-headed monster on the ground with Jacob Martin and Carter Hess. Martin has rushed for 1,045 yards and 20 touchdowns. Hess has rushed for 942 on the ground and 7 scores. Berlin's quarterback Aaron Bartle, not a rushing threat. He's carried it just 18 times this season. That's less than 2 per game. Bartle did throw, however, for 733 yards and 15 touchdowns, and he really only has 2 targets he's looking for. Hayden Reddington and then once again Carter Hess. Reddington has 437 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns, and then out of the backfield, Hess has 254 yards and 7 scores. The 2 defenses in this game have also been stellar. Mayville gives up just 11 points on average. Berlin, on the other hand, has 6 shutouts on the year and gives up just 6.5 points per game. The Indians' leading rusher Martin and leading receiver Reddington both cause problems defensively as well. They have combined for 28 tackles for loss and 4 fumble recoveries. Max Sonnentag is Berlin's leading tackler with 108 tackles, and Carter Hess, who we've mentioned a few times already, has 5 interceptions. Berlin's defense in total has forced 23 turnovers this season. Common opponents, Berlin beat Waupun 53-6. That was Mayville's Level 1 playoff opponent. Beat Campbell Sport 35-7 and blanked Omro 42-0 back in Week 1. Yeah, you know they're all going to be tough once you get to this point. In Division 6, that's where Lomira continues on in Level 2. The second-seeded Lions get number 6 Manitowoc Lutheran. The Lancers with a 14-7 win against Reedsville last week in Level 1. And once again, seems like a big mismatch in the Lions' favor on paper. Manitowoc Lutheran is 7-4 on the year. They lost 4 of their first 5, including a 21-0 loss to Houston, which, by the way, is a common opponent for the Lions. The Lancers struggle to run the ball. They rush for just 95 yards per game on average. Camden Bay is their leading rusher with 468 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. However, he's also fumbled 3 times. The Lancers do have a 1,000-yard passer in Jamin Ott, who's thrown for 1,231 yards and 11 touchdowns. Ott's top target is Derek Labs, who has 555 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. That's right around 60 yards per game and just short of a touchdown per game. For Manitowoc Lutheran, a couple of players jump off the page defensively in the turnover category. Isaac Wagner leads the team in tackles, also has 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. And Wesley Hecker adds 4 interceptions for the Lancers, who've picked off the opposing quarterback 13 times this season. This one looks like Lomira could dominate in the trenches and have their way, but as we said last week, got to show up and take care of business. So there you go. There's a look at the Berlin Indians and the Manitowoc Lutheran Lancers, the 2-level opponents of the Cards and the Lions. That's it for today. We're back tomorrow, and we're back to action tomorrow with Laconia Volleyball, Lourdes Valley Christian Soccer, both in action tomorrow. Talk to you then. For the Flyway Focus Sports Report, I'm Jordan King.